Next on Worcester News tonight, a Northborough man facing a judge today on a murder charge in connection to a burned body found at Hope Cemetery. Plus, a groundbreaking in Worcester. City leaders announce Main Street will be getting a major renovation. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. We begin this evening with the weather. Another hot one out there today, but a lot better than Wednesday. Let's get you straight over to meteorologist Michael Page for more.
Temperatures today across central Massachusetts not nearly as hot as past days. Only 83 at the Worcester airport. Boston, though, still hit 91. Now all of this being wiped away as a cold front continues to glide through New England. The dew point has dropped into the 60s. Now, that's still humid, certainly, but it's far better than the oppressive weather that we've had for the past couple of days. That would be dew points in the 70s, and that is nearly pushed entirely out of New England, and these values will just keep dropping as we go through the evening. Had some clouds around this afternoon as the cold front comes through, but generally speaking, it looks pretty good from here on out if you're sick of the hot, humid stuff. Tomorrow is far cooler. We're only in the 70s. Lots of clouds during the morning, but then some more sunshine during the afternoon. Just an outside chance of a spot shower. Still in the 70s on Saturday, but climbing. 80s and more humid on Sunday, and then by Labor Day Monday itself, back close to 90 degrees with oppressive humidity. So summer comes roaring back just as we unofficially end it. Your 10-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
And switching gears now, a Northborough man is now charged with a gruesome murder in Worcester. Prosecutors say 57-year-old Stephen Foley killed a woman, then left her body in the trunk of a burning car. The victim's body was found in Hope Cemetery last December. Our Chandler Walsh was in court today for his arraignment and has more. Chandler?
Olivia, Foley has faced multiple charges in this case already. Today he was back in court, this time facing a murder charge. Stephen Foley is arraigned in court Thursday. The Northborough man, a level 3 sex offender, is charged with the murder of Cynthia Webb.
On December 12, 2017, did assault and beat Cynthia Webb with intent to murder such person.
The 59-year-old's body was found in the trunk of a burned car in Hope Cemetery. Foley had pled not guilty to charges of burning a motor vehicle and malicious damage to a motor vehicle in connection to the case. According to court documents, the two met at Mario's Showplace in Webster the night before Webb's body was found. Webb was working as an exotic dancer. In court in December, prosecutors said surveillance video and witnesses placed the two together at multiple locations.
The defendant is seen getting out of his vehicle, getting in the victim's vehicle in the driver's seat, and driving away. Shortly down that street, they have further surveillance that shows that they pull into a gas station.
Prosecutors say Webb's car was seen heading toward Hope Cemetery in Worcester, where it was later found on fire. This man's friend's daughter is buried near where the car was found. He says it's a sad situation.
Because, I got family members that I buried, and I wouldn't want that to happen. This is a place for peace, not to come and kill somebody. She didn't deserve that. No human being deserves that.
Court documents also show physical evidence placed Webb at Foley's residence in Northborough the night before she was murdered. Foley is being held without bail. The case will continue in October. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Tonight, state police are working to identify a body found on the Mass Pike in Auburn. The body was found around 10 p.m. Wednesday night on the westbound side near exit 10. Police are still trying to figure out how the person died since there is no overpass in the area, no vehicles were left behind, and there were no reports of anyone walking on the road. Anyone with information is asked to call state police. A Barre woman has a run-in with a fleeing suspect early Thursday morning. Police say they tried pulling over a man for speeding the night before, but he got away from officers. Our Cam Jandro joins us live now with more. Cam?
Yeah, Olivia, Christina Paquette was just getting her daughter ready for school when she went into her house and saw the man sitting on her couch. After running outside, Paquette called 911. Officer Zach Martirosian was following the man identified as Tyler Johnson when he abandoned a car behind a grocery store and fled on foot around midnight Thursday. At first, the search was unsuccessful, but Barre police say the 911 call from Paquette helped them locate the suspect. The 28-year-old from Connecticut was seen running through properties in the neighborhood of Town Farm Road, where he was arrested shortly after.
Send out a swift 911 call when the incident had happened, so all the residents around this area were informed via cell phone. So people were alert. We moved our perimeter a little further down South Barre Road towards Main Street, right around the senior center area. We had 3 of us. We took up a perimeter inside the woods, and then the subject was subsequently located.
Police say Tyler Johnson has been a suspect in multiple car thefts and also has previous firearm charges. Paquette says she's grateful the situation didn't turn out much worse.
The outcome could have been way different with my daughter home. Like, she could have entered the room, or I went back to bed and he thought no one was home, and then say he found me while he was awake. He could have attacked me. Who knows, you know?
He's being charged with stealing a motor vehicle and using a false name. Olivia?
All right, Cam, thank you for that. Members of the Worcester Community Labor Coalition holding a press conference in front of City Hall Thursday to fight for economic and racial justice. The gathering, held just days before Labor Day, launches the coalition's Worcester Works campaign. The campaign is advocating for access to good jobs, a stop to wage theft, community benefit agreements, and for city jobs to reflect the people of Worcester. The coalition says with the announcement of the Pawtucket Red Sox moving to Worcester, this conversation is even more important.
What we're saying through this Worcester Works campaign that we have collectively come up with is that we want to make sure that the economic boom and the renaissance is something that is equitable for all people.
We're going to do this by ensuring that our public construction, City Hall, and all of our school departments actually reflect the diversity of our city. We're going to do this by making sure that we're fighting wage theft, and we're going to make sure that we have signed community benefits agreements that are tied to all future projects that give back to the community and not just corporations.
And the coalition says in 10 years, the Worcester Works campaign will transform wage gaps between genders and race. Members from the Carpenters Union, Central Massachusetts Housing Alliance, and city leaders were all in attendance. Worcester's last remaining Jewish deli is now in the hands of a local real estate developer. Weintraub's Delicatessen has been run by David Mazzari for 30 years. Developer Edward Murphy says Mazzari is still there until he can find a new owner. The business has been in Worcester for 98 years. The goal is to have someone who will keep the shop the same way.
I ask a lot of people if you can name 5 good delis in Worcester. They can't. So we think there's an opportunity there for that.
And Murphy says he's been meeting with potential clients but hasn't found the right one yet. Another groundbreaking in the city Thursday. This time it's a multi-million-dollar project helping reconstruct downtown. City leaders say today's announcement is just another part of Worcester's renaissance. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us live now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, the city announced a major reconstruction project of Main Street. It will include newly paved roads, bigger sidewalks, and a new bike lane. The momentum continues in Worcester Thursday with the announcement of a major reconstruction of Main Street.
There'll be new streets, new sidewalks, new ornamental lighting, all new street furniture, so the bus shelters, the benches, the trash receptacles, bike racks. There'll be a new bike lane.
The $13 million project will remodel Main Street from Chandler Street to Lincoln Square. The city is getting $4.5 million from the federal government and more than $2 million from the state's Mass Works infrastructure program.
The city, as you know, knows how to get things done, and the federal, state, and local government coming together around this project is a real testament of government working the way it should.
We're a great city. We deserve a great Main Street.
Aside from new streets, bigger sidewalks, and a new bike lane, Main Street will also be home to a new park next to the Hanover Theater. City Manager Ed Augustus says it will be home to performances, outdoor restaurant seating, and a place for the community to gather.
Right now you have this park and then there's a road, so you have to kind of cross the street twice from the garage. We'll eliminate that and we'll have one contiguous plaza. So this will be a very active and engaging space in the downtown.
The announcement comes on the heels of major developments like a minor league ballpark and new service at the Worcester Regional Airport.
It's an indication that this city is on the move, that things are really taking off here.
We're really excited about all the momentum the city is experiencing, but the connections in the Main Street downtown area are critical, and we're really happy to play a part in it.
Construction for the project is already underway and is expected to be completed within the next 14 months. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
If you've bought or sold a house in Worcester County, you've probably dealt with the Registry of Deeds. Next year, a new register will be taking over, and 2 of the candidates are current Republican state representatives. 2 state representatives are running against each other for a different position in September's primary election. Republicans Kate Campanelli and Kevin Kuros are vying for the Worcester County Register of Deeds seat.
A lot of people don't realize that the Register of Deeds is even an elected position. So we spent a tremendous amount of time going door to door.
You're implementing these visions, this new leadership. And I think that's something that the registry needs right now.
Incumbent Anthony Vigliotti announced he was stepping down in January after holding the position for more than 40 years. Both candidates say they have big plans if elected, overseeing real estate transactions across more than 50 cities and towns.
I think the systems can be a lot easier to use. And then I think a big thing that we need to do is more outreach.
Updating the website so you can get all of this historical information to real-time data.
And both say while the position is some may not be aware of, they understand how important it is.
I'm looking to bring what I've learned as a rep to the registry and implement some of these ideas.
You need someone who's going to be able to hit the ground running and take the baton and run with it.
And the primary election is Tuesday. Democrat Catherine Toomey is also running for the position. State representative candidates for the 17th Worcester District came together for a debate Wednesday night. Stu Loosemore, Pamela Jem, David LaBeouf are Democrats who will square off in a primary next week. The winner will meet Republican Paul Fullen in the general election. All were asked a number of questions, including how would you go about changing and/or funding a new foundation budget for public education?
And we need to really talk about revenue in a comprehensive way. And I'm willing to do that, and I'm not afraid to stand there and say, look, it's a business. When I advise businesses on how to balance their books and how to look at their profit and loss statements, that's the same way we got to look at the state budget, especially around education.
I've also seen where kids are not getting their educational needs met because the school departments can't afford the tests, or they can't afford the tests for dyslexia, or they deny them a test for this and such because it's not within the budget. Those things need to be funded.
The 1993 formula should be completely dismantled, completely broken down, and a new formula should be put together to fully fund education, taking into account the needs and the assets and the resources of individualized communities.
Once again, we're talking about raising taxes with the fair share thing here, and raising taxes on people. Sooner or later, we run out of other people's money. This state brings in over $100 million a day in revenue. I think we have enough money for education. It just has to be allocated that way.
And candidates are looking to take over the position Kate Campanelli left to run for the Register of Deeds.